Whatever your passion is, keep doing it. Don't waste time chasing after success or comparing yourself to others. Every flower blooms at a different pace. Excel at doing what your passion is, and only focus on perfecting it. Eventually people will see what you are great at doing, and if you are truly great, success will come chasing after you. It still holds true that man is most uniquely human when he turns obstacles into opportunities. Sometimes we have to soak ourselves in the tears and fears of the past to water our future gardens. The most dangerous irony is people are angry with others because of their own incompetence. The greatest win is walking away and choosing not to engage in drama and toxic energy at all. The more you can have control over your ego, rather than let it run amok, the more successful you'll be in all areas of life. You were born a winner, a warrior, one who defied the odds by surviving the most gruesome battle of them all, the race to the egg. And now that you are a giant, why do you even doubt victory against smaller numbers and wider margins? The only walls that exist are those you have placed in your mind. And whatever obstacles you conceive exist only because you have forgotten what you have already achieved. When you experience a negative circumstance or event, do not dwell on it. Be proactive. Put your attention on what you need to do to bring the situation to a positive result. Where there is life, there is hope. Recognize that throughout this beautiful day you have an incredible amount of opportunities to move your life into the direction you want it to go. You doesn't have to choose between being gentle or being fierce. Both exist in nature and both exist in you. That's okay. You'll know to nourish them both, and when applicable, use each unapologetically. Sometimes I feel proud of myself, not because of any success I've achieved, but because I'm aware of all the difficulties that I have suffered or went through. I'm an eyewitness at all the fear, weakness, frustration, failure, depression, refraction and bad luck moments that I've been through alone, and which affected significantly, but never was able to beat me for so long. This is why I'm proud, because I'm here now stronger than yesterday. I'm still able to stand and continue on my way, still following up my dreams, still trying my best to build better future for me and my family, and I will never ever give up. Faith keeps our ships moving, while empathy and the memories of our experiences lead to wisdom. While others were dreaming about it, I was getting it done. We have to surpass ourselves every day, make every day undying, climb our own personal Everest, and do it in such a way that every step is a little bit of eternity. That's what the future is for. To build the present with real plans made by living people. Name one thing that surprised you today. Name one thing that moved you. Name one thing that inspired you. Believe in yourself. Underconfidence leads to a self-fulfilling prophecy that you are not good enough for your work. Every adversity brings new experiences and new lessons. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. In other words, a wish is a good place to start, but then you have to get off your butt and make it happen. You have to pick up a quill and write your own damn story. Mimi Wallingford. Walk free from the long shadows cast by small people. Giving applied tithing is so rewarding. When you give away your time, talent, and treasures, you create a huge shift in your prosperity consciousness. So start where you are as you reach for where it is you want to be. If you want to be happy, you need to set your mind on happiness. It is great to do what you love, but greater with a great team. Maybe we feel meaning only when we deal with something bigger. Perhaps we hope that someone else, especially someone important to us, will ascribe value to what we've produced. Maybe we need the illusion that our work might one day matter to many people, that it might be of some value in the big, broad world out there. Most likely it is all of these, but fundamentally, I think that almost any aspect of meaning can be sufficient to drive our behavior. As long as we are doing something that is somewhat connected to our self-image, it can fuel our motivation and get us to work much harder. There are people who are waiting to be motivated by you. When our commitment is wavering, the best way to stay on track is to consider the progress we've already made. As we recognize what we've invested and attained, it seems like a waste to give up, and our confidence and commitment surge. Pain loses its power when other things become more important. To turn your dreams into reality, all your resources, efforts and concentration should be aligned in the same direction. Every game is winnable if you change your mind about what the prize should be, and your perspective about the players at the table. Dream your dream, and realize that you are more than just the dreamer. You are the point of origin for its reality. The only walls that exist are those you have placed in your mind, and whatever obstacles you conceive exist only because you have forgotten what you have already achieved. Inspiration fires you up. Motivation keeps you burning. If you don't make the time to work on creating the life you want, you're eventually going to be forced to spend a lot of time dealing with a life you don't want. Music is the beat of a drum that keeps time with our emotions. Perfection is not a destination, It's a never-ending process. Cream always rises to the top, so do good leaders. Now you were proving it again. Each time was a new time, and you never thought about the past when you was doing it. Once your soul is awakened, you never return to the sleepwalking state of mind. Some people become complacent in life. They are just going through the motions and not aware of truth. Seek the knowledge, wisdom, and the understandings that vivify your existence. Enthusiasm is excitement with inspiration, motivation, and a pinch of creativity. Pain doesn't last, and when it's gone, we have something to show for it. Growth. When you see into the invisible, you will dare to do the impossible. Words of wisdom. Wow. Be still. Let go. Flow. Breathe. Believe. Allow. Grow. Align. Be the light. Be awake. Be aware. Anticipate. Participate. Embrace change. Take that chance. Love. You or love. Rise to the occasion. Fuel your motivation and make the world become a better place. Take each day in your open palms and close your fists around it. This life is not done with you yet. You can motivate by fear, and you can motivate by reward, but both those methods are only temporary. The only lasting thing is self-motivation. Never stop acquiring the common sense. It is as good as the knowledge. The world is a terrifying place, more than I ever realized, but if I had my whole life to do over again, that's literally the only thing I'd change. I'd stop being so afraid of other people think. Let your player haters be your motivators. If there was a reason why he preferred the liberal tendency to the conservative one, also held to by many of his circle, it was not because he found the liberal tendency more sensible, but it more closely suited his manner of life. It's not life situations, but our thoughts are the pilots of grief. Fear is a powerful stimulant. Today is the day you have to start believing in yourself. No one can do it for you anymore. Do not be afraid of what should be afraid of you. Never allow the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Forget about willpower. It's time for why power. Your choices are only meaningful when you connect them to your desires and dreams. The wisest and most motivating choices are the ones aligned with that which you identify as your purpose, your core self, and your highest values. You've got to want something and know why you want it, or you'll end up giving up too easily. If the fire in your heart is strong enough, it will burn away any obstacles that come your way. Even greater than the ability to inspire others with hope is the power to motivate them to give as much to the lives of others as they would give to their own, and to empower them to confront the worst in themselves in order to discover and claim the best in themselves. Difficulty is the excuse history never accepts. Competition is a rude yet effective motivation. If life throws you a few bad notes or vibrations, don't let them interrupt or alter your song. Others can't always define your true identity. They see what they want to see. But beyond your mess, God sees the beauty He created and still thinks it's good. Do you know where your breakthrough begins? Your breakthrough begins where your excuses ends. A dream is your creative vision for your life and the future. You must break out of your current comfort zone and become comfortable with the unfamiliar and the unknown. There is a sense in which all cognition can be said to be motivated. One is motivated to understand the world, to be in touch with reality, to remove doubt, etc. Alternately, one might say that motivation is an aspect of cognition itself. Nevertheless, motives like wanting to find the truth, not wanting to be mistaken, etc., tend to align with epistemic goals in a way that many other commitments do not. As we have begun to see, all reasoning may be inextricable from emotion, but if a person's primary motivation in holding a belief is to hew to a positive state of mind, to mitigate feelings of anxiety, embarrassment, or guilt for instance, this is precisely what we mean by phrases like wishful thinking and self-deception. Such a person will of necessity be less responsive to valid chains of evidence and argument that run counter to the beliefs he is seeking to maintain. To point out non-epistemic motives in an other's view of the world, therefore, is always a criticism, as it serves to cast doubt on a person's connection to the world as it is. Perseverance, outlasting the most rash, pessimistic, cowardly naysayers, those first in line to deny us the dreams never tried, ourselves. I am not afraid of tomorrow, for I have seen yesterday. I have today, and I know Him who holds tomorrow. So I know tomorrow will be beautiful for me. God can take the ordinary and create the extraordinary. Our incredible God has the power to transform your simple life and give you the life of your dreams. Remarkable things happen in your life when you believe. Maybe I'm deceiving myself. Perhaps I don't know Him as well as I'd like to imagine. What does a person so willing to utterly remake himself hold inside his heart? Can I trust such a man? What motivates him? Don't be in a hurry. Everything arrives in the due time. One cannot but wonder how an environment can make people despair and sit idle, and then, By changing the conditions, one can transform the same people into matchless performers. The ability to stay calm and focused in the midst of change is what distinguishes great leaders from those just collecting a paycheck. Whilst some people inspire, others conspire. Just imagine life to be a dance with different kind of rhythms, depending on what music is playing in the background. Sometimes we may dance alone, and that's okay, as some songs are simply meant to be danced like that. Practice, don't stop, it's your dance. If you concentrate on small, manageable steps, you can cross unimaginable distances. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack the same courage to do what is right. It's called the road less traveled. Nobody is going to save you but yourself, and the best and only way to do so is through action. The privileges of the nobles of the sword are not democratic across the country. Peasants have been burning crops and chateaux. If the king does not willingly change taxation, I fear commoners and peasants will force him. Always strive to aim for the highest peak of the goals in life you have set. This way, if you manage to reach even halfway toward a goal, landing in the middle is not such a bad place to end up. Do you wait for things to happen, or do you make them happen yourself? I believe in writing your own story. To realize one's destiny is a person's only real obligation, and when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. It may take little time to get where you want to be, but if you pause and think for a moment, you will notice that you are no longer where you were. Do not stop, keep going. Someone needs to fight. Someone needs to sacrifice. Someone needs to inspire. Someone needs to be a hero. It is not so much where my motivation comes from, but rather how it manages to survive. I challenge you to make your life the masterpiece you want to paint, the novel you want to read, the day you want to wake to. The rest of our life is going to be the best of our life. The issue isn't, am I good enough? No. The issue is, do I not have any other choice? Will and desire don't matter. Ability doesn't matter. Need is the only thing that matters. Where would we have been without the discoveries of our predecessors? And where are we going without your discoveries? Start even if you don't know how. Your motivations: get that promotion, throw the best parties, run for public office aren't impersonal abstractions, but powerfully reflect who you are and what you focus on. An individual's goals figure prominently in the theories of personality first developed by the Harvard psychologist Henry Murray. According to his successor David McClelland, what Friedrich Nietzsche called the will to power, which he considered the major driving force behind human behavior, is one of the three basic motivations, along with achievement and affiliation, that differentiate us as individuals. A simple experiment show these broad emotional motivations can affect what you pay attention to or ignore on very basic levels. When they examine images of faces that express different kinds of emotion, power-oriented subjects are drawn to non-confrontational visages, such as surprise faces, rather than to those that suggest dominance, as anger faces do. In contrast, people spurred by affiliation gravitate toward friendly or joyful faces. I refuse to live life with unsettled differences. I'm always scared to death that I won't do a role justice, but fear can be a great motivator. Discipline is giving yourself a command and following it up with action. The impossible is only relevant to those who never attempt it, otherwise it is abstract and meaningless. Moving forward implies motion when in all actuality it may be simply standing still and seeing the salvation of the Lord. Seek first the kingdom of heaven within, whereby lies an abundance of treasures and resources that you need. I was determined to move forward. I'm drawn again and again to obsessives. I like them. I like the idea that someone could push away all the concerns and details that make up everyday life and just zero in on one thing, the thing that fits the contours of his or her imagination. Obsessives lead us astray sometimes, can't see the bigger picture, serve not just the world's but also their own narrow interests. But I don't think we get progress or innovation or joy or beauty without obsessives. So many people will tell you no, and you need to find something you believe in so hard that you just smile and tell them, watch me. Learn to take rejection as motivation to prove people wrong. Be unstoppable. Refuse to give up, no matter what. It's the best skill you can ever learn. It's not about perfect, it's about effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, that's where transformation happens. That's how change occurs. Don't be afraid to stand tall in your truth. Boldly and confidently face everything that has and is keeping you bound. Fight for your inner peace. Fight for your happiness. Fight for everything and everybody that's important to you. You are not a victim. Don't even play into that. You owe it to yourself to live. Live your life without the regrets, without the resentments, without the unforgiveness, without the blame game, without the self-pity, without any and everything that keeps you from experiencing true joy within. You are too important to waste your life away. Learn to appreciate and value your life, but most importantly, learn to appreciate and value yourself. You count too. no matter what you've done. Passion is not a reaction to an external event. It is the leftover emotions from the internal battles you have won that propels you forward. Erase self-doubt by working to build your strengths instead of focusing on your weaknesses. If you can show people how to build castles, make sure you do not neglect building and nurturing your own. The most unlucky generation is the one which couldn't produce a hero to look up to. Get off the treadmill of consumption, replication, and mediocrity. Begin lifting the weights of creativity, originality, and success. Do not empower your negative thoughts by giving them legs so they can run around your mind, creating worries, frustrations, and anxiety in your life. We do not need to attend classroom training programs for everything. Observation opens the windows of knowledge around us. In order to grow, I promise you'll have to let go of some habits. 10 times out of 10, they'll be the habits you're most in love with. The poor themselves can create a poverty-free world. All we have to do is to free them from the chains that we have put around them. Momentum builds success. I could crawl inside the lyrics and know each note intimately. They would claw at my soul until I could no longer fight the emotions that took me to a place I couldn't experience. But it was the possibility that made every verse a heart-filled prediction and every beat a direction to follow. Intent not followed by action is an insult to your design. Decide what you want, create a plan, and get your ass out there. They look to each other for support, for strength, and at times, motivation, to remember why and for whom they lived. Motivation gets you going, inspiration keeps you going. Entertainment is temporary happiness, but the real happiness is permanent entertainment. What have you gained since you haven't prayed? What will you lose if you pray? If you are willing to be a self-learner, you will develop yourself. In our 20s we have conflicts. We think everything is either or, black or white. We are caught between them and we lose all our energy in the conflicts. My answer, later on in maturity, was to do them all, not to exclude any, not to make a choice. I wanted to be everything, and I took everything in, and the more you take in, the more strength you find waiting to accomplish things and to expand your life instead of the other, which is what we have been taught to do, which is to look for structure and to fear change, above all to fear change. Now I didn't fear change. I made it greater. You always told me to forget the haters. Make plans for your new goals and press towards achieving the goals with all your strength. You cannot control the past, but you have control over the life you build going forward. Choose to hustle now, to work hard now, to make all the sacrifice now, so that you can enjoy your tomorrow, whatever it is that you supposed to do now. If you don't do it now, it will affect you badly for the rest of your life. Vladimir, be reasonable. You haven't yet tried everything. And I resume the struggle. Let people be the pursuits of happiness. You be the pursuit of perfection. It's never been easier for audiences to skip, filter, or avoid advertising. So the best ideas are the ones that respect that the audience needs to get something out of the work. It should inspire, satisfy, or motivate them. You can't just bombard people with messages anymore. This is the new year, the new you. You can pass through another year, coasting on cruise control. Or you can step out of your comfort zone, trying things you have never done before, and make 2012 as the year that you elevate from where you are and soar high. Make it happen. If you truly feel that self-esteem and motivation have to happen first, before you can make changes in your life, then we'll probably be sharing walkers at a retirement home as we talk over what might have been. Those who don't value their words will never value your wishes. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Think well, go higher and higher until it becomes impossible to bring you down. I want to use a microscope to locate you. Don't even dream of coming down. In a story you had to find a reason, but real life gets on very well without even Freudian motivations. Stop worrying about someone taking your spot. God already have it reserved. Do the work to get there and fill it. Needs cause motivation. Deep-rooted desires for esteem, affection, belonging, achievement, self-actualization, power, and control motivate us to push for what we want and need in our lives. If you want him to do it, you've got to change the picture of the world inside his head. Achieving success is a challenge, but so is struggling. So you may as well choose success. It doesn't matter where you've been, only where you are going. Don't let your dreams rust. Listen to your youthful bells ringing loud inside of you. Waiting around to be perfect never amounts to anything. Don't be a waiter or you'll be serving other people. Your youth is certainly finished, and old age has definitely arrived if you feel that you are losing enthusiasm, excitement, and energy towards your dreams and goals. If it is not strong upon your heart to practice what you read, to what end do you read? To increase your own condemnation. If your light and knowledge be not turned into practice, the more knowing a man you are, the more miserable a man you will be in the day of recompense. Your light and knowledge will more torment you than all the devils in hell. Your knowledge will be that rod that will eternally lash you, and that scorpion that will forever bite you, and that worm that will everlastingly gnaw you. therefore read, and labor to know that you may do, or else you are undone forever. Raise the bar higher than your opinion. Compromise brings harmony to both, happiness to none. Greatness comes from the inside, and once you believe you have it, it's yours to share with the world. Someone said that our goals keep us going, but it's our dreams that make us tick. So if you disconnect your goals from your dreams, don't be surprised if one morning you realize that your life is on autopilot. Real success is not rooted in positions, places, or possessions, but in fulfillment of God's purposes for our lives. Between natural ability and education, choose natural ability, as it will keep you happy and will fetch you the glory sooner. If there's a definition of freedom, I think it's this: living life on your terms. We always need a motivation in order for us to meet our full potential at work. The greater the loyalty of a group toward the group, the greater is the motivation among the members to achieve the goals of the group, and the greater the probability that the group will achieve its goals. Rather than the strength it takes to not lose, it's the strength to stand back up after a loss that is sometimes more valuable. Resistance is a powerful motivator, precisely because it enables us to fulfill our longing to achieve our goals, while letting us boldly recognize and name the obstacles to those achievements. Be thankful for the people who have stood by you and cheered you on, but don't forget to be thankful for the ones that said it could not be done. Writing a book is no small task, and even the skeptics can help you get where you want to be. If you say no to opportunity, you had said no to life. You are an artist, and the masterpiece is your life. Ambivalence is one of the biggest enemies of change. If you aren't sure that you really want to take action on something such as your weight, ambivalence will usually win. You don't get time, you create time. Inevitably, if we are to grow and change as adults, we must gradually learn to confront the challenges, paradoxes, problems, and painful reality of an insecure world. I was going to buy a copy of The Power of Positive Thinking, and then I thought, what the hell good would that do? It did matter to get out of bed. There were webs to weave, strings to grasp, packages to deliver, conversations to start, thoughts to be expressed, Sams to slam into, oceans to swim, and sad little men hiding in electrical sockets, waiting to be born of the human imagination. To be cruel is to be coward. You only live once. No matter what you choose to do with it, it should be worth it. When you fall, don't get up until you figure out what tripped you. When you win, your success story can be whatever you want. I'm a man of God. I am too little to be that. And I totally believe in that thing called destiny. I am the guy that goes backwards, takes wrong turns, stumbles in life's chasms. I am also the guy that finds gold where others feared to stray. Perhaps because I follow my heart, instead of sage advice thrown my way. The seeds you planted last year will grow in this year. Think hard on that when you plant again. Each man should be free to fight for his own salvation. The ordinary man gets motivation from power and fame. The superior finds motivation and meaning in work itself. Everyone is struggling. I suppose we must try to understand and learn rather than judge. Every failure is a chance to make things better than ever. I allow manipulation to find out where my enemy wants me to go. Then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. After you hear and listen, first must come desire, second must come willingness, third should come understanding, fourth should come progression, and with progression will come more understanding. If you're jealous of someone else, it simply means you have not come to a true acceptance and appreciation of yourself. Embrace every new day with gratitude, hope, and love. Until you believe you can do it, it's going to be difficult to convince anyone else you can do it. Take a discovery walk today to find what's missing in your life. There's peace in the whisper of the wind, hope in the sun smiling from behind clouds, strength in every step forward. You can do it. Neatness and cleanliness is not a function of how rich or poor you are, but that of mentality and principle. Comfort zone simply means the routine of one's daily life. It is a psychological state in which one feels familiar, safe, at ease, and secure. Those who win never give up. Those who give up never win. Patience, more than the ability to bear pains or endure waiting, is to be calm. No matter what happens, constantly take action to turn it to positive growth opportunities, and have faith to believe that it will all work out in the end. While you are waiting, hopes, wants, and wishes, all cast across the night sky with my heart in tow. Players focus on the wins and the loses. Builders focus on the team and future of the vision. Let's move our members from team player to team builder. Great achievement requires personal force, determined spirit, and self-confidence. You have to conquer every obstacle, before you can reach the top of the mountain. Do not be complacent about your achievements, and not to strive for continual improvement when you get to the top. As soon as you let success go to your head, you sink into following familiar patterns and play it safe. In other words, you risk losing your edge. May you find the courage to rise above any circumstance. Learning to focus on the big picture will help you keep things in a proper perspective. There would be a time when you will ask for nothing but life. Never allow anyone or anything to demise or dull your truest identity. Hurtful words and harsh judgments have no impact when your North Star, your guiding light, shines from the center of your chest and beats from your own truest heart. Let your past propel you forward, not hold you back. Civilization is a myth. That is the truth this world has taught us. We have not risen above our baser instincts. That is what always has and always will drive us. Your greatness is measured by your horizons. Opportunities to share love and compassion are all around us. It's going to take an army of compassionate people to heal our world. How will you show yours? We put great expectations on our tomorrows when we truly need to rely on ourselves. Far too many overlook personal action to get things done. Blame is easily passed if one does not hold themselves accountable. Inspiration moves one from pessimism to optimism, from doubt to faith, from despair to hope, and from darkness to light. Don't be managed by the likelihood of mishaps. Be motivated by the promise of favor. Having what you want may give you achievement, but wanting what you have will give you fulfillment.